everybody, welcome back to LilyLuLou. My name is Karen, I'm the Junk Journal Geek, and a very warm welcome if it's your first time visiting today, and if you've been here before, thank you for coming back and joining me. I'm here to do a quick flip through of this journal that I have made for Claire at Purple Poppy. We did a journal swap together, and the parameters, for want of a better word, where it was to be around A6 in size and it was to be fabric and paper, and other than that we had free reign. So this is my little journal. I've never made one this small before, so that was an interesting project for me. I made the cover. I took lots of pieces of material from my stash and some lace and things, and I've sort of just pieced them together to make a piece of fabric big enough to cover the journal. So this spotty material at the back was part of one of my daughter's dresses from when they were small. So that material is, I don't know, no, it's not vintage. But it's old, it's about 20 years old. Then this plainer material with the embroidery on is part of an embroidered tablecloth set that I have, which I think is vintage. Then I've got some bits of lace here, and this sort of lacy trim I bought. And this lace is new, well, not new, but it's not vintage, it's just from my stash. These little roses come from, they were from Craft Box. I've had those a while in my stash. Max, in your bed, be quiet. Sorry about Max, he can hear people walking past. So this is, again, is some of that same tablecloth. This is another piece of lace from my stash. This is the same lace on the edge that's on the back, and the same little rose here. Then here I sewed on this button because I just thought it went well with that little row of flowers there, embroidered flowers. And yeah, I think that's it. So I made that piece of material, and then I covered a padded envelope with that material, and then put something else on the inside, which I'll show you now. So it's tied up with this crinkled seam binding. And oh, here I just stitched, I'm not sure if you can actually see what that says. It says Claire's Journal, and I just embroidered that onto a piece of that tablecloth. So then inside, I've covered the inside of that envelope with some card, and as you can see, it's all blue and white. So I've put a pocket on the inside here, and this is made from, I made a sewing journal a little while ago. It was a design team project for Sani Creates. So I've used some of the bits and pieces I had left over from that in this journal because it was fabric and paper. It seemed, you know, using the sewing themed things was appropriate. And then tucked in here, I have a piece of ephemera that is vintage, and it's a page from a book. I've got the book here. This was my nan's book. It's called The Big Book of Needlecraft, and it's almost falling apart, but not quite. But this page has fallen out, and I can't bring myself to actually tear this book up until it does actually fall apart. But this was this page in here, so I've used that to tuck in because I just thought it was appropriate. So you can see the book, it is quite tatty, but it's not, the pages are not falling out yet. So when they do, I will be using that. But that page has come out of there. So, and it's a picture of a tapestry. So I just folded that up and tucked that in there. And then while I was making the journal, I made a boo-boo. I had intended for these are crocheted doilies, which I believe are vintage. They were supposed to be the first page of the signature, and they were getting in my way when I was sort of fiddling about with the pages. So I put them to one side and then I sewed the pages in, forgetting to put them back where they were supposed to be. So I've just cut that in half and I've stuck that on the first page just as a bit of decoration. So then in here I've just typed out some of the things that I think of when I think of Claire in here. So on the first page we've got well hello hello, because she often starts her videos that way. And then this is just tea dyed paper, and then here we've got some book page that I've used to make a pocket, and I know Claire likes her sexy shoes, so this is dictionary page with the shoe word on there, just a little tab from that So Beautiful kit at the top, and just blank book page stuck to the back just to strengthen it, and that just tucks in there. That's stuck onto packaging paper. I tried to make this journal about Claire, but I also wanted it to reflect me and my style of doing things. So there are envelopes in here and buttons and the things that I usually use, but I've tried to make it, you know, for Claire and thinking about Claire. So this, having said about envelopes, this is an envelope that I have used just to make a page in the book. It's not a tuck or anything, you know, it's not a pocket or anything, but I have folded over the edge to make this tuck here. And then in here, I can't remember where I got this. This is a kit from Etsy that I have printed onto lightweight card. I will link the name of the kit and the shop in the description below, because I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but it was all sort of sewing and fabric related, so I thought that went well with the journal. And this is just some page I had in my stash. I think that's from Shabby Dabby Doodah. More tea dyed paper. Then this paper is dyed with red cabbage. I hope the smell has gone away. I can't smell it now. I've had it airing. I had it airing for ages before I actually used it. But that's, as I say, dyed with red cabbage. More tea dyed paper. There's lots of blank pages in here so that Claire can either use the book for journaling or for making notes about things she wants to make, or she can pull it apart and use the bits and pieces in here, you know, in other projects. This is from the same kit that I just mentioned from Etsy, and this is just a piece of the card that was left over from lining the inside cover. So I use that to make a tuck there, and on the other side is a flip, and this says, "Fill your paper with the breathings of your heart." That's a quote from William Wordsworth, and I thought that was appropriate for junk journalers. And this paper, I believe, is from the Graphics Fairy, but I'm not 100% sure. And then it's just a flip out for journaling. So in there I just tucked a little journal card, and I thought this ballerina is, you know, giving us a twirl of her new dress and tutu, and this is her mum at the sewing machine making her dress, and this is the fabric tumbling down from the table as she's working. I just thought that was my little story when I put that together. So this image is from the same kit as these cards, and I just cut the lady out sitting at her sewing table, because I thought that made a nice little story there. So that just sits behind there, and that's just backed with packaging paper, and I've just stapled on a little bit of lace at the top to bring out the blue in the, this again, this is the So Beautiful kit in the background. It's covered with sewing pattern paper, and then I've stuck this image on front. So more tea dyed paper, more cabbage dyed paper, more tea dyed paper. This paper is from another kit from Etsy. Can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Again, these are kits I had in my stash that I may have used for other things or I haven't used at all yet. So again, I will find out what that's called and where it's from and link it below. I've just stuck some lace on the edge there to trim the page. And then this is just a little charm that says create that I've attached with a bulb pin. So obviously Claire can take these off and use them in other projects if she wants to. And then this is the centre of the first signature. At the bottom here of one of the strings is a vintage button, but I've left the other string for Claire to do what she wants. You know, I thought Claire might want to, you know, decorate this journal further, or as I say, she might want to take it apart and use it for other things, but that's just a vintage button on there, and as I say, I've left the other string bare. Then up here, this is some of the fabric that I used to make the cover. It was obviously too big when I put the thing together, so I trimmed off the excess, and then I just cut a heart shape out of some of the excess, stuck it onto some, I believe that's net curtain, lace from a net curtain in the background, and then sewed it all together with this button and stuck that on that page just for a bit of decoration. It's a little heart cluster. And then some more tea dyed papers, some more packaging paper, and some more cabbage dyed paper. So I haven't put loads and loads of pockets and things in here. As I say, I've left it quite empty. There's plenty of room for journaling. So here is another envelope that I've just collaged around. I believe this is Shabby Dabby Doodah TikTok paper. This is from the So Beautiful kit. And then behind the window, I just stuck another part of the So Beautiful kit. And then on the back here, it's collaged again. That's the same paper as in the background on the front. And then I've just stuck this faux postcard on here, which is from the So Beautiful kit as well. And I've just remembered Claire doesn't like writing going sideways in her journal, so sorry, Claire. That's just come to me as I was looking at that. I remember you saying something about that the other day in one of your videos, so apologies, but it's done now. So this is the same paper that is in the centre signature, and again this is the other half of that crocheted doily that I've just stuck onto the back page of that signature, just for decoration. Then on this signature, the beginning of this signature was supposed to be this lace as a page wrapping around the whole signature, and again, because I'd forgotten to do that, I went back afterwards. I've just folded the lace sort of 2/3 of the way down and stuck it in as a pocket. And then in here we've got some more of that kit that I mentioned before. And then this journal card is again made from the So Beautiful kit in the background with sewing pattern paper on top. And then again, I've just stapled a bit of a scrap bit of leftover lace on the top, and that's backed with packaging paper again. So they just tuck in there. And we have a few more blank pages following the same format as the first signature. And then here is this is another altered envelope. So again, I've just cut the envelope open to make it as a page, and hiding behind the window of this envelope is my stitched portrait of Claire's dog Boo. And down here it says, Boo, Mummy's doing a video, because Claire has the same problem as me with her dog barking while she's trying to record. So I just, I found an image of a Rottweiler, and I have just stitched that onto a piece of, I think this was a piece of calico that was just in my stash. And then I've stitched this little bit of broderie anglaise trim on the edge there just to tart it up a bit, and I've given Boo a lovely blue bow. And again, this is just collaged with random papers that were in my stash. Again, I think this is the TikTok paper from Shabby Dabby Doodah, and I think this paper is from Weathered Textures on Etsy, but I couldn't tell you which kit it is because I have quite a few of their kits. And then here, again, I've just collaged with bits and pieces of paper, and then I just stamped Boo at the bottom with my alphabet stamp. And then that's stitched in the top just as a tip in, so there's some secret journaling behind there. So I love that. I love the way that came out. Quite pleased with that. And I love the way she's just peeking through the window there. So then we have some more cabbage dyed paper and some more tea dyed paper, more packaging paper. And this is what I mean about, you know, I made the journal sort of in my style, but with Claire in mind. I always use packaging paper. I always use envelopes. So hopefully it's a nice mash-up of the two styles. So then here, again, there's another one of those vintage buttons, but the other string is left bare. And this is the same thing again. This is a part of the cover that was left over. So I made a little heart cluster there with some more of this dark blue lace behind it. And then this is a covered button that was in my stash. I just felt it went well with that little cluster. So that's just attached there. Then we've got some more lace trim down this edge that's sewn on, and another bulb pin with a nice sexy shoe for Claire there clipped on. So this book is quite bulky, but it was fun to do. So more plain pages there, and then on this page I've got a little corner tuck here made from dictionary page again with the word craft. And then I've just done the same again. There's one of those images from the kit and another tag made from the So Beautiful kit, the pattern paper on top, and then I've just stitched on a piece of broderie anglaise to act as a tab at the top, and that's all backed with packaging paper again. And then we have more cabbage dyed paper and more tea dye paper. Everything has been edged with blue ink, and the ink is from Stamping Up, and I believe it is Lost Lagoon, the colour. So everything in here is edged with that same ink. This is the other half of that envelope, the Boo envelope. And again, that's just another one of the papers from Weathered Textures. And then in the back here, we've got a pocket made from another one of those images. And this is another piece from the same kit here. And these little flower clusters are my nod to Purple Poppy, which is the excuse me, the name of Claire's channel. I was trying to make purple poppies, but do you think I could find any proper purple fabric? So that's more of an aubergine colour really, but it's a shade of purple, and that's my little take on purple poppies. So more plain papers, and then we come to the back of that signature. So again, there's the pocket, and in here we have the same one of the images and another tag, and this has some of the neck curtain on there as a tab. And then in the third signature, I've done the same again, another vintage crochet doily, and you will notice that all these fabrics have been washed, but a lot of them have stains on, you know, from age and wear and tear, but I feel like that's all part of the history of the fabrics, so I didn't make a concerted effort to cover them up. This page is another window envelope, and again it's just a page, it's not a pocket, but I've stuck some paper behind there that to me looks like stained glass, because Claire used to have a stained glass business, so I just popped that paper behind there as a little nod to that, and then the same paper's on the other side, making a secret pocket. It's a hidden pocket until you put something in there. And again, this is just another one from that same kit. More tea-dyed papers. This again is from the same kit, this image, and that's just fixed onto the packaging paper. The same card that's used to line the journal is making a little tuck spot here, and in here we've got more images from the same kit. This one I've left attached so that Claire could make a little booklet if she wants to. Another single image there, and then I had this little tea card with this dapper lady and gentleman on the front, and I just thought that went with the sort of idea of fabrics and sewing, that they're showing off the latest fashions. So that's just tucked in there. And then coming to the centre of the signature here, I've got more lace again down this edge, and another little charm that says Inspire. That's just clipped on with a bulb pin. And then again, we've got another one of these buttons. Unfortunately, I didn't leave my string long enough on this one, so it doesn't dangle below like it's supposed to, but that's another boo-boo. I made quite a lot of boo-boos in this journal, but I think Boo was making her presence felt. Again, this is another piece of fabric left over from the cover, and I just liked the fact that it was mainly white. You can just see a little bit of the polka dot behind it, but it is mainly white. So I've just stitched a pale blue button on there, the same as the other centres. Coming to the end now. And this is the other side of that envelope. So again, when you take the card out, the pocket disappears. And that's just another card from the kit. These images are absolutely beautiful. That's again from Weathered Textures. This was an envelope left over from the So Beautiful kit. So I've popped that behind there. And we have another corner tuck here from Dictionary paper with the quote soap, because that's what Claire does, makes soap. More packaging paper, more tea-dyed paper. And then finally at the back here, we've just got this little tuck spot, this little belly band, just because I thought the blue went nicely. And in here, I've got the card that those 3 buttons were on, just tucked that in there. And this is a little envelope made from the card that's at the back. I wonder if that will go in there. Oh, it would do if you wanted to tuck it in there. So they just tuck behind there. And then we have another little Clairism. It is what it is. And that's that with this journal. So again, on the back, we've got this half of the crochet doily. We've got a little cluster of purple poppies. And then this is what's left of the cover So I've just tucked that in there so that Claire can use that if she wants to, you know, to make a bit of extra decoration or use it as a bookmark. That bit's fallen off. So I just thought I'd tuck that in there as a little extra, and then we're back to the back of the book. So I hope you like that. I hope Claire likes it when she gets it. This will be going off in the post tomorrow, so hopefully it will arrive safely and will be enjoyed by its new owner. But that is Claire's journal. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. I'll be back again in another couple of days, hopefully. Slowly getting back into a normal routine after all the medical dramas we've had in this house lately and all the other bits and pieces going on. So I'm hoping I can get back to a more stable filming routine. But thank you for bearing with me over the last couple of months. And I'll be back with you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Take care and enjoy your own crafty time. Bye-bye.